Welcome back. Now a real David and Goliath battle between struggling Australian UGG boot makers and the American company trying to shut them down.
Eddie Euger is in the fight of his life.
But this time they picked on the wrong guy. I'm going to deck Deckers.
To keep his business alive.
I'm going to even sell my house to fight them because I know I'm doing the right thing. For Australia, for Australians and for myself.
From his tiny Aussie factory, he's taking on an American multinational, and he's hoping you'll support him.
Look at the leathers.
And they're just sitting here now.
Yeah.
Had a pair or got a pair of Aussie Uggs? Think again.
Can the Chinese do that?
Of course, they copy anything.
Yeah.
They copy everything. And you know what? They put Australian flags on them. They put the triangle with a koala inside instead of the kangaroo, just to deceive the public.
Eddie's business is about to get the boot, which is rather ironic.
There were hundreds and hundreds of boots used to go out every day. Now, I mean, we're lucky to get a couple of people a week.
Eddie makes dinky dye, true blue Australian sheepskin boots called Uggs. Once there were 40 Australian manufacturers just like him. Today, there is just Eddie and a couple of others. But here's the thing, we're buying more so-called Aussie Ugg boots than ever before.
When it comes to Ugg boots, are Australians being conned?
Yes, they are.
Tony Butler also runs one of the last Australian Ugg boot factories left.
Majority are actually imported from China, relabelled in Australia, then sold in Australia or sent back to China under the guise of Australia made.
This is how it's done.
I purchased this in Australia. The Made in China label was there, it's been taken out. They put pictures of Australia, Australian Aboriginal works of art. This is cowhide, yet when it's sold and marketed, it's 100% Australian sheepskin. Another trick of the trade is they'll bring in a boot from China.
And on that space on the heel, something identifying Australia will be sewn on.
I went into a warehouse last week that's got 170,000 pairs of Ugg boots that have been imported from overseas.
And they're going to put an Australian label on those?
It will be sold back into China on websites starting this month as if it's been made in Australia.
Millions of export dollars lost, and jobs like these.
Imagine for a moment if all these Ugg boots were made in Australia and they were genuine, what that would do for the industry here.
We'd be employing another 1,000 people without a problem, without a problem.
But there's also another foreign Ugg aggressor.
Today, Ugg Australia is one of the most famous and enduring brands in the world.
From the American voiceover to the boot itself, there is nothing Australian about Ugg Australia. The American footwear giant Deckers bought the name Ugg Australia back in the 90s and now sells $1.5 billion worth of Ugg Australia boots a year. But you see, they too are also made in China, from products sourced from other countries.
You know what, Deckers? I'm coming to get you.
The boot may have been invented here, but because Eddie still uses the word Ugg, he's now being sued by Deckers.
The word Ugg is a generic term.
He argues the name was invented down under, and anyway, no one, he says, can own a word. So from his tiny Western Sydney factory, with the few staff he has left, he's going to spend $1 million counter-suing the giant American company. And he's got Nick Xenophon on side.
It's about every little Aussie battler that's been done over by a big corporate bully.
So later this week, Eddie and Nick will cross the Pacific to confront the owners of Ugg Australia.
Ugg is an Australian term. It's a quintessentially Australian product.
For its part, Deckers is demanding all Eddie's stock, absolutely everything, be sent to America to be destroyed.
They want my warehouse, my office, my car, my T-shirt, for God's sake, my Bonds underwear.
They're made in China, by the way.
I don't know. I mean, it used to be made here, I think.
Yeah. Another one gone.
Another one gone. Deckers made this.
But before he leaves,
No way.
he's got a
It's
message
all
for the
handmade in
Yanks.
Australia. I'm coming over to the States. I'm going to register apple pie, stop you guys eating apple pies, just like you guys stopped us selling Ugg boots.